Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So I promised y'all this recap of this book. Y'all, that is literally I would call my breakthrough book. The book that really is like a culmination of everything that I wanted for the year in terms of my spiritual development, my self-development. Hey! Super excited to share this book recap with y'all and the reason why I'm doing it is because so many people have the same question as I did, right? And they want the answers. And this book actually gave me the answer. Like the book literally gave me the answer. And so I want to inspire you to read it, okay? I want to inspire you to read it, but I'm going to give you the reasons why you should read it. Like what I took from it that would help to motivate you to read the book. Okay, so I started my spiritual journey around 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, right? And the more I got into my spiritual journey, the more it was leading me to places I never even thought I would be, right? And so one of the places that it was leading me to was really finding out what true happiness is and how to attain it. No matter what's going on in your world, like really how to have true happiness. And so this book gave me the answer of how to attain true happiness. Okay, so I started the book in December. I promised myself that I would have it finished by the end of December. So by the end of 2022, I will have the book finished so that I can really practice what I read starting the new year. Like I can go into the new year with everything that I learned in this book and really practice it, really apply the knowledge, right? So another thing is my word for last year was balance, harmony, right? Because it's like I have all these dreams, I have this big vision for my life, for my family's life, but in order for me to attain that, in order for me to get the vision, I have to become somebody different, right? I have to be a different person. I have to be in harmony. I have to be in alignment with my vision, with my dreams, right? So that was where I was coming from for last year. And y'all, I got it in this book. That's what I mean by spiritual development. Like your spiritual will just take you places and then you're going to get there. Right? So I had the answer to how to become harmonized with everything that I want, right? So what I'm going to do is just go through this book recap. And if you cannot stay on the live, I totally understand. I'm going to drop it in my profile, right? On my timeline, I said, so that you can view it whenever you're able to. But it's very, very important that you take the time, especially if you're on a spiritual journey to find true happiness, spiritual freedom. That's what I was putting on my vision board, y'all. 2 years strong, I was putting on my vision board spiritual freedom. Like that's what I wanted, right? Because when you live a life full as a mom of 6 plus 1 more plus 4 more from step situations. So as a mom of 11 children, as a wife, right? Not once, not twice, right? As a wife, going through divorces, being a teacher leader, opening up nutrition club. Like your life could get it could just get so, right? And there's so many things that's happening in your life and you sometimes could lose control. You can sometimes go lose it because of everything that's going on, right? So as that person, like I wanted spiritual freedom. I craved spiritual freedom. And I have the answer from this book. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all that the book was broken up into, hold on a second. The book was broken up into 5 parts. The book was broken up into 5 parts, right? And so I'm going to read the parts And then I'm going to tell y'all what I got away from each part. Y'all, tremendous. Like the answer to everything I've been craving. Spiritual freedom, true happiness. Okay? Now I just get to use 2023 to practice it and apply it. And hopefully by 2024, I will be there. Okay? So, part 1, awakening conscious. All right? Part 2, experiencing energy. Part 3, freeing yourself. Part 4, going beyond. Part 5, living life. All right, so part 1, awakening conscious. So this part was more about realizing that you are not who you think you are. Realizing that your psyche takes over everything that's going on in your world. And you are not your psyche. You are the person, you are someone who's like sitting outside and you're watching your psyche run your life. Your psyche is your inner voice. You know, sometimes you be sitting there and you at nighttime when it's only you and your mind's just going. That's your psyche. That's not even you. That's your psyche. So chapter 1 was really just becoming aware that you are inside of your consciousness. That you are your consciousness. Like you are consciousness. You're not your psyche. You are watching everything go by. And you can get in control of your psyche. Like you don't have to have your psyche run your life. You can direct your psyche where to go in your life. Okay? So part 2. Now that part 1 would, like, you would have to read it like one or two times to really get that, to really grasp that you're not even who you think you are. That you are really self inside your conscious watching everything go by. And your inner voice is your psyche. It's like your roommate. Your psyche is your roommate. It's crazy, like your inner roommate. Your psyche is your inner roommate. Okay, so that's part 1. It's just becoming aware that you are self, you are conscious, and you really are sitting inside watching the psyche take control of your life. Okay? Part 2 is called experiencing energy. Y'all, this right here, part 2 is what really, like, now I put the book down. I can't read no more. I just got to wait a few days before I pick it back up. Because I've been learning this year about energy and how important energy is, right? But I never really got the grasp of really how important energy is. And you control your energy. Okay? So, most of us, we're walking around this earth suffering. Walking around with a closed heart, a closed energy because of all of our life experiences. Like, our hearts are really closed. And if you understand the chakras, now I understand why it was saying, like, open your chakra to your heart. Like, that is an energy that is very important for you to live a life of freedom, spiritual freedom, right? So your heart and your energy flows from your heart. So if your heart is closed, your energy is going to be closed. So even like with running a business, like your energy has to be flowing for you to really feel the success of your business. So if your heart is closed, then you're just really walking around suffering. So when you understand that, now you can become aware of how your heart plays an important part of your energy and how you Your energy in your heart is connected. And if you keep an open heart, you are flowing through life. And if you keep a closed heart, you are drowning in life. Open heart, flowing in life. Closed heart, drowning in life. And all of that is just energy. Closed energy, flowing energy. And so experiences in our life has caused us to have closed energy. Experiences in our life has caused us to have a closed heart. Experiences in our life has caused us to don't even know how to open back our hearts. How to open our hearts back up. Okay? Now, part 3 is freeing yourself of that. How to keep an open heart. How to keep the energy flowing through your heart. I did a meditation the other day. It was a new meditation for me. And she said, pretend like your heart has white doors. And you open the doors and it's just a light coming out of your heart. That is a way to free yourself. So, here are the ways and how you can do that. Now, I told y'all the reasons why we close our heart is because of our experiences. Well, how about you sit in your conscious, right? You watching everything go by, and you realize that when these things are happening, they're happening. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to feel guilty about anything. Please. You don't have to protect anything. You don't have to try to control anything. You let it pass by you. Something hurts you, you feel disturbance in your heart, let it flow. Let go. As easy as it comes, it can easily go. But you are in control of that. So let it flow. Notice that, understand that you are outside looking in. And you can just watch it pass by. Everything is just going by. Right? So if you know that, then it's easier for you to practice that. And then it's easy for you to let it go. And it's easier for you to understand that you're not in control. That it's going to happen. That's life. Let it go. Let it go. When you feel pain, you have to let it go. Because the more you hold on to it, the more you try to defend yourself, the more you try to resist, is the more you're closing your heart and you're closing your energy. I gotta say hi to everybody that's joining. So you're closing your heart, and you don't want to walk around anymore with a closed heart. I promise y'all. Like, this is true spiritual freedom. Even when you experience pain, even when you feel like everything is just, whoa, it's so much, you're not bothered by it. You let it go. You watch it just go past. You just watch it pass. Like a galaxy in the universe, just things are just flowing. Could you imagine that? Like, you have to see it for yourself so that you can get there. Right? So the next thing is, so it said, removing your inner thorn, let go now or fall, stealing freedom for your soul. Like, all of that was in the freeing yourself chapter. Pain, the price of freedom. Like, just let it go. Somebody calls you a bad name, let it go. Somebody runs you off the road, not runs you off the road, but somebody is cuts in front of you because they're in a rush. Let it go. Right? Let it go. It's not worth closing your heart up for. It's not worth it. Okay? And then going beyond. That's when you Stop the resisting. That's when you let go of the fact that I have to have life this certain way. It has to be controlled this certain way. Nobody's supposed to say nothing bad about me. Nobody's supposed to look at me a certain way. Everybody needs to feel this way about me. Like, it's when you let go of all of that, then you are far, far beyond. You're like literally so close to freedom. Okay? Spiritual freedom. And if I want you to drop comments, like if something is confusing, I will go back. I'm going to read this book again. Okay? I don't know. I'm thinking I want to at least give it a practice for a month. And then I want to go back and read it again, like constantly letting go of stuff. All right, my heart is disturbed. I'm going to let it go. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Go about my business. Like, I'm going to practice that. And when you do that, it's called purifying your heart, purifying your energy, like constantly purifying it. To eventually, you're not going to need to do that anymore because it's just so natural for you to just let go and be free of pain, free of guilt, free of shame, free of all of that. Okay? So that's when you're beyond. Now you are really living your consciousness and you're watching everything happen and it's just flowing. Okay? And then the last thing is living life. So once you do all of that, right, and you get to the point where you're beyond, now you can live life. Unconditional happiness. The path of non-resistance. Then it talks about death. The secret of the middle way and the loving eyes of God. Now, this is where I want to go deep into this chapter right here, because when you realize that you are flowing and you're beyond, you want to know how this is going to help you really to live your life. So unconditional happiness is when, okay, let me just tell you this. This is what the author said. And he is Michael Singer. He said, there's only one thing that everybody wants. It's not a happy marriage. It's not money, success. It's really happiness. And you can choose whether you are going to be happy or not. And the only way to choose that, you choose happiness when you choose not to let anything stress you, not to let anything overwhelm you, not to let things pain you and you hold on to the pain. It's true happiness when you can just walk in life, walk on earth, feeling free, feeling flowing. Okay? That is true happiness. And you can do that. Okay? And then the spiritual path of non-resistance is just talking about no more resisting. You are really thinking like, this person can't do this to me, or resist. No more resisting everything that happens in your life. Experiences are going to happen. You just got to go with it and let it go. You got to watch the experiences happen and keep it moving. And I know this is a lot, y'all, but listen to this again and then read the book. And you'll get it, especially if this is what you're looking for. Okay? So the next one was contemplating death. Now this one right here, everybody sometimes look at death as this wrong thing, this bad thing, this scary thing, but really death is a lesson. If someone told you that you had a week to live, that you were going to die in a week, how would you live your life in that week? Then that's how you should be living your life forever. Anytime. However you were going to live your life, knowing you only had a week to live your life like that forever. Death is a lesson. Do not be afraid of it. Everybody's going to die. But it's how you live your life in the time that you are here on earth. It's the depth of your experiences. Not how much time I have. Okay? that was definitely eye opener for me. And then the secret of the middle way. There's a yin and a yang. There's a right and a wrong. There's a good and a bad. Living your life right in the middle. Living your life right in the middle, called Tao or Tao. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Tao, I think. That is where you want to live. And you will live there when you are spiritually free and nothing bothers you. You're just flowing. Your energy is flowing. Your heart is open all the time. 1,000% of the time you have an open heart. You're in true happiness. That's when you'll be living in the middle. Okay? And then the loving eyes of God. This was it right here for me too. Because I'm going to tell y'all, like, this actually brought me back to when I was growing up. And let me just tell you the parable that he gave. There's a mom, and I know of a mom, and they have a handicapped child. I know a mom who has a handicapped child. And I know that love, no matter if your child is handicapped or not, that unconditional love is something else. And there will never be any judgments between that mom and her child. Right? Her handicapped child, there's no judgment. She's just taking care of her child. She loves her child. She's protecting her child. She's nourishing her child. She's making provisions for her child unconditionally. Now, compare that to how God is looking at you. God loves you unconditionally. God does not judge you. God is love. God is bliss. God wants you to know that you are protected, that he is providing for you, that he adorns you, that you are something special to him. Like, God looks at you that way. And then he gave the parable as well as the sun. No matter if you look at the sun right now and it's shining as warmth on you, you can come back next year and that same sun will be shining as warmth on you. That's the way it is with God. So when you are walking the earth, knowing that you are protected, you are loved, you are adored by God, you are God provides for you. Like when you walk the earth feeling that and not feeling judged by God, you are in spiritual freedom. And the reason why I took this so personal, because growing up in a religion, in a particular religion, they teach you like God will do this if you do this. God will do this if you. And so you grow up really feeling judged by God. And so that's how we grow up with so many of us grow up with closed hearts. But if you know that God does not judge you, he gives you unconditional love. If you walk the earth with that, it's something else. So that is this book, The Untethered Soul. Go get it. Go read it. If you are looking for spiritual freedom, if this is something that you've been wanting, an answer to your prayers, because it's definitely an answer to mine, this is it. Thank y'all for joining. And let me know when you read it. Tag me that you read it, that you're reading it. Especially if you want spiritual freedom. Like Angie Martinez was doing an interview with, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Taraji. She was doing an interview with Taraji, and Taraji said she's going to Bali for a month because she's just looking for happiness. And I recommended this book to her. Because happiness really is not in another country. You use meditation for this. You use meditation for this journey because it gets you closer and closer to yourself, closer and closer to your consciousness, closer and closer to your spiritual freedom. It gets you closer and closer to feeling that love of God. Doing meditation, yes. But it really happens, it really starts inside. So thank y'all for listening, and I'm going to drop it in my timeline so y'all can take the time to really listen to the whole recap of the book. But love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining, and talk to y'all soon.